welcome back to Ukraine United, baby. I still love the intro. Hopefully, this time it doesn't sound like you're just talking through a toilet paper roll, but I think we'll be okay moving forward. First things first, this is where Ukraine United starts to get interesting, alright? This is where it becomes different from any other franchise mode that I've done or that I've seen, right? Because when you want to take a look at the draft is so important. And it's not even important to get one good player. Every draft, we have to go in and try to get all Ukrainian players. So, yeah, we got the first overall pick. But, we're trying to get a lot of assets and picks because the first Ukrainian is Mikhail Jas, and he's projected to go 14th. So, what I already went through by myself, is I pinned all the Ukrainian players in this draft. And the way I look at it, around 200, if it's past like 260, they're not going to get picked. So you could just get 7th for those players just to grab them up. So we could just accumulate like 5 7ths and pick up all those guys. So right now we have 9 picks, which I double checked, and there are 12 guys, 12 Ukrainians, which means that we're going to have to get 3 more picks, probably 7th rounders, to acquire those Ukrainians. Now, the first thing as of note, there is only 3 players who should be taking this draft. Lokchinov, Kozlov, and then Jas. Those are the 3 guys that are potentially taking this draft. The rest, their potentials are, this is 1,000, but it's a goalie prospect. Ooh, good save percentage in an A+ league. Honestly, might be a steal at 1,000. So, it's just, we have to accumulate all the Ukrainian players because this is just you can't let anyone slip. We got to start building up the prospects and building up everyone. So, another thing. I was looking into other possible players that we could get that are Ukrainian. So I was just Googling around online, and there was actually a player who is Ukrainian. You guys will know him a lot for his time in Tirana. But unfortunately, we can't use him because Mr. Timashov here, he was born in the Ukraine, was there till he was 7, and then he moved to Sweden. And he plays for the Sweden national team, so that's why it says he's Sweden. What I'm doing in this game, technically speaking, he is Ukrainian. We could get him. I'm trying to get guys who the game says that their country is Ukrainian. It might sound a little scummy, but I mean, if you really think about it, before the age of 7, you probably have 10 good memories. But when you're 15, you probably have 100 good memories or something like that. You don't really remember a lot in your early life. So to him, he's always kind of been Swedish since he got to Sweden when he was 7. So I'm going to consider that he views himself as Swedish. He plays for the Swedish national team. We're going to consider him to be Swedish and not to be Ukrainian. I know, a little bit of a ball buster there, but it kind of makes sense. So without further ado, let us go right into the draft. This is the exciting part. Now, we're going to call a timeout here because we have a lot, and I mean a lot, to think about. So, we have to drop down. Or we could just take our player at number 1 overall. But I feel like we're not managing our assets correctly if we just take him at number 1 overall. But, however, if we drop to Buffalo's 10, snag up Jas, and we accumulate some seconds or late firsts, we would be able to acquire those other 2 guys that I mentioned that weren't 7th rounders. We're also going to have to get 7th rounders, but that's later on. So, let's trade back. So, they want to get rid of their pick. I'll give them the first overall pick because it's only fair. We also have the 22nd overall pick and the 32nd. But, so we're moving back, and we want to acquire something else. Maybe potentially Buffalo's first for next year, just so we could go kind of take a step back. I'll try it. Let's see. Will it go through? All right. So, Buffalo might be a good team, but if they aren't a good team next year and they happen to be a good pick, we still have our pick, which is going to be top 5 guaranteed, and whatever they do. So it just adds another potential pick to us to see. So we don't have to, if there's a Ukrainian in the top 10 and we don't have the assets to get them, that's going to be a real ball buster. So it's important that we got the drop back to 10 and we got Buffalo's first for next year. So I am really happy about that. Buffalo, why would you move up if you want to trade it? Whatever. They're going to take Atu Roddy, which is fine. Have Atu Roddy. That was a nice sniper there. But again, no Ukrainians. I think he is a Russian, if I were to guess. So, let's just go to our pick here. Looks like no one took Jess. I'm assuming he's still going to be here. And he is. So, the first pick of Ukraine United's franchise career, we're going to take McCall. Jess, welcome to Ukraine United, my friend. What are you? Okay. Medium top 4, 67 overall. Solid pick. Definitely going to have to be a building block for this Ukraine United team. Luckily, he doesn't look like his stats are all over the place. Well, his puck skills are, but that might just be because he's a two-way and not an offensive defenseman. So they seem normal-ish to me. We'll see. He's 17, mind you. He's 17, not 18. And that extra year of growth will help us a lot. So that's important to know. 6'4". I like that he wears the number 95. And not enough players wear the number 95. I can appreciate that. So, our next pick is 22nd. Now, let's go look at our next potential player for us. So, if I go to pinned. So, our next player would probably be Lokshanov at 94. We should be fine. We should be fine to take those guys with our next picks. We should be okay. Now, what I didn't do is I didn't acquire more picks. So, our next 2 picks, they'll be fine. So, we took 1. We didn't get any more picks for this draft, so we need to get 3 picks. So, let's just go find some teams with their 7th rounders. Alright, so, no, we're in the East. Okay, I had to remember what division we're in. Do you have your 7th still? I'm assuming you do. No, you don't. Okay. Boston, now they're in the East. It's got to be a West team. Or Buffalo and Boston are both in the East. Calgary, do you have your 7th? You do. We're going to take that. You only have 1 7th. We are going to... Okay, Luke Johnson. You can have Luke Johnson for a 7th. And can you actually give us a 6th as well? I wouldn't mind if we have to give up more. I don't mind using these AHL players for late picks. Oh, really? Okay, so just the 7th? Wow. All right. So, forget that. Chicago. Like I was saying before, I do not mind if I have to use... West team. If I have to use the players in the AHL to acquire these late 7th round picks just to get guys who are just to sweep up the rest of the Ukrainian guys. Like you saw, there was a lot of guys who they were never going to get drafted in this draft. But I just want to get the picks just so I can acquire those guys because again, we need every single Ukrainian player that we can acquire. East Florida. Let's see. Ooh, they have 2 7ths. Okay. All right. They have 2 7ths here. All right. So I'm not opposed to throwing them a 5th for next year just to get those 2 7ths. Okay, cool. So now we only need 1 more pick to acquire a 7th round pick just to get another pick to, once again, get those players. That's a Western team. Montreal. Oh, no. Western teams are good. Well, I guess Florida's not going to really I goofed there, but I guess Florida's not going to really take advantage of that. So I'm not too worried. Do you want? No, there's like yes, I should just be trading these guys right away, but I can get a little bit more for that in case these are for guys who to either grow in the AHL to help out my Ukrainian players, or they're to only be used to acquire like let's say I need like a third round pick, um, something like that to get people like that because I'll try not to use them, but I'm really not opposed to it either. Like I'm not going to be using them as trade pieces to get first and second round picks. Like third is probably the highest I would go with them, if that. But Hunter Jones, he might be good for the AHL as well. Like I'm gonna have to eventually trade Marco Rossi. I'm gonna have to trade Shaw, Kavanaugh. You know these guys that shouldn't be here, but you know what? I'll let me see. I just want to make sure this guy's not Ukrainian, right? No, he's real. So most likely he's not Ukrainian. All right, enjoy him. There we go. All right, so we acquired the picks we need for this draft. So now it should just be smooth sailing. So, since our next pick, I'm not really looking to see how the other teams draft. Like, oh god, we could have had that guy because he was a steal. Not really. No, we're just trying to take Ukrainian. So he's the next one. Lukashanov, I know nothing about him. I know he played in an A+ league, and he looks like he's going to take 4 years. He's 18, so here we go. Lukashanov, playmaker, center. Okay, he's a playmaking center, and that's pretty much all I can really say about him. I mean, he doesn't have weird stats either, but at 62 to have 73 offensive awareness is kind of nice. Faceoffs at 68 out of 62 overall. That could be nice in the future. And top 9, yeah, we can work with top 9. Top 9 you can work with. We're looking for potentials that you can work with. There's some that you just, it's a hard time. So I would say that's a win. Yeah. Our next player is Kozlov. Right? Just double checking. Yeah, Kozlov. Kozlov is our next pick because he's the next highest. 17, center. Playmaker, top 9, medium potential. Similar stats to Luxino. Where's number 69? Oh, you can't. Vitaly Kozlov. You can't make this up. You can't. And he's 17. So, again, that extra year makes a difference. Trust me. Next pick coming up, we're just going to go in order of what picks are the most important. I almost went to go look at, like, what players are available in the draft. I'm like, no, I got to stick to, like, you know, the whole premise of this series. So 355, Artem Brizgalov. Artem Brizgalov, I believe, is the next one. Yeah. Yeah, I know nothing about these players, so these are all shots in the dark, so they could be good, they could be bad. Artem Brizgalov, sniper. Bottom 6, alright, let's go. Center sniper. You know, for 49 overall, to have shots in the 70s, kind of filthy. These guys, you know, they're looking nice. They're especially nice because we're getting playmakers and snipers as opposed to having a full team of grinders like we did year 1. So it's kind of a nice balance here because we literally had all freaking grinders, and no thank you. All right, next one is Gogolev, Marcus Gogolev. Okay, he played in Pakistan. All right, here we go, boys. Ooh, okay, so he is an offensive defenseman at 17. Look at those shots. Dang, these boys got some nice stats for being in the 40s. So it's a solid third round pick. We're getting a little bit of everything here. Most likely with these players, you have to keep in mind. Well, I'll explain that later. Okay. Alexander Tikhonov, I think he's the next one. No, I lied. It is Nikitin. Valerie Nikitin, left wing center. Center sniper, low bottom six. So, okay, all right, all right. 93 slap shot accuracy? No, oh god, this guy's broken. I mean, he's not that broken, but how does he have 90 acceleration and 90 agility but 70 speed? And how does he have a 93 slap shot accuracy? Oh man, this guy's kind of broken. Oh well. 80 face offs? What the frick? Alright. Okay. That guy's kind of broken. So. Love to see it. Okay. Next up is going to be Tikhonov. Okay. Tikhonov. Welcome, left wing. Power forward. We got the power forward playmaker sniper combo already. Is he a broken player? No. Okay, maybe. No, okay, that's just hand eye. Okay. I thought that was like passing or deking for a second. I'm like, 88? What the frick? No, we're okay. We're okay. I'm just looking at the stats because I'm just curious to see what their strong suits are. I know they have like their class, like what player type they are, but I want to go in and see like what are their individual stats, see what they're kind of good at. So, next pick is Zoyzin. Yuri Zoyzin. Okay, here we go. Defensive. So we have an offensive and a defensive defenseman. Nice. Exactly what you'd expect it to be. Okay. I mean, I'm hoping some of these are just like, whoa, what an amazing pick, but whoa, ooh, I almost pressed the wrong button. That could have ruined everything, honestly. Would have blew up my Xbox. Alright. Oh, like Petrov Grinder. We're gonna eventually get a few. We don't need grinders, but we're gonna get them. Alright, here we go. I want to take the goalie, but we're gonna save. So we're gonna go with Nikita Gorbachev. Let's see. Oh man, we're growing this. We're growing this team. Oh yeah, they're gonna be filthy. Okay, let's see. So we're getting down to the wire. The goalie's gonna be our last pick. So we're gonna take Mikhail Wisniewski. He's a right winger grinder. It's upsetting. All right, and the last pick, we're gonna take the last Ukrainian in the draft. Is gonna be that goaltender. All right, Nikolai Malikov. Like, look, I'm not gonna lie, he's got good stats. Like in an A+ league, he's got good stats. So, fingers crossed, boys. Here you go. I guess they weren't that good at stats. I mean, no, they did. They were kind of good stats. But we have a goalie prospect, and sometimes I feel like goalies are hard to acquire. So at least we got a little bit of everything. We got forwards, we got wingers, centers, defensemen, goalies. We got a little bit of everything this first draft. So for Ukraine United, that's the lineup of the Ukrainians. Oh man. Sim to re-sign phase. This is another thing that's going to be important. Scouts. We're going to want to get a lot of Russian scouts because 9 times out of 10, Ukrainian players either play in Russia or Kazakhstan. So we're going to want to get a lot of those scouts. Let's see. Sorry, my mic's in the way. I had to see how many scouts were. Okay. Alright. We have 19 scouts. I don't know how I want to address this. Because it's important to have scouts of everything. We'll just re-sign our scouts and then worry about which ones we want to keep later on. Sorry. We're just zooming through. It's just 2 scouts. My apologies. All right. So contract situation. Oh boy, we're up against we're pushed up against the cap, aren't we? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump cut here because I mean a lot of these guys are just they're Iowa Wild players. So um, I'm gonna re-sign the ones I feel necessary to do so. The ones that are definitely gonna help grow other people. You know defensive defensemen, offensive defensemen, playmakers, snipers, power forwards, and then just try to pretty much no two ways, like stuff that's gonna be good for chemistry later on. All right, so I will be back in a sec. All right, boys, I'm back. So something as of note, I signed everyone that I'm gonna potentially need, so we don't have to worry about that. Saved you all the boredom. One thing I did want to address though. All of the Ukrainian players we just drafted, I am not signing. Because I want because we have the team, I don't want them to grow to a point where they need to play in the NHL when the team's not ready yet. So what I want to try to do is I want to keep them unsigned. Don't worry about the Minnesota prospects. We'll worry about that. But I want to keep them unsigned until I have to sign them. This gives me 2 to 3 more years of where I keep getting in Ukrainian players. So that when they actually break the AHL roster, there will be more in the there'll be more coming along. So then eventually I'll have a feeder program of Ukrainian players. All right, boys. So that was just a quick little snippet. So I'm just gonna sim to free agency now because there's really nothing else to do. Everyone's signed. We gotta worry about the scouts. I know that. Which I might go ahead and do myself. But just to take a quick look at. Geez, there's some big headers here. I know Bufflin's here. I know I forgot to edit him. Just ignore it. But I do edit my rosters. Not overalls, mainly just potentials. For players that seem fit. But last time I checked, these guys are all not Ukrainian. So to me, they are worthless. They have use for other people, but to me, there's no point. I mean, our best bet to find more Ukrainian players is to wait until all the free agents are gone. You know when you're in preseason and there's like no one left in free agency, that's the time to go look for Ukrainian players just to fill out the roster because again, acquire as many Ukrainian players as we can in hopes that we get some good ones. All right. So this is just on me. I'm gonna go look at the scouts and see if there's any good scouts available. If I find any, I'll come back and let you know. But I'd rather just save you the time. All right, I'm back, boys. So funny story. I went to go look at scouts, and these are my options. I just threw one out because he has A+ in Russia, but I guess this year we're not going to get scouts because they're all C. So that's a little bit disappointing, but luckily we do have scouts that are at least good in one region currently. So we'll take that. I might change some regions around, but again, I'm not going to show you that. Not necessary. So I guess, well, you know what? I'm going to go do the region changes. Then I'll show you that and give you a last overlooking thing about what we plan to do. All right? I'll be back. All right, boys. So I'm going to call it here. So I moved some scouts around. Moved some scouts into Russia. There's nothing really to see there. Nothing significant happened except for the fact I did learn that my backup Ukrainian goaltender retired. So we may have to do something cheeky where I put, because I don't want to start the goalie we just drafted yet. Maybe I'll put him on the NHL roster, but then have auto rotate goalies off and just have the one guy play that's not our prospect. That's something I could do. Or potentially, like I'm going to do, I think it's just easier this way. In between episodes, I'm going to go through remaining free agents to find any Ukrainian players, especially Ukrainian goalies now. Just to go through and find some. And as you see good old Ian sitting right here. So, best line. So, all the AHL non-Ukrainian guys came up. So, I got to spend time in between episodes searching through free agents. And then I have to fix the NHL lines and the AHL lines. So, I'll do that in between videos off camera. So, all the boring stuff's gone. But, once again, thank you guys for watching. Follow me on Twitter at NationFeels. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.